Okay, so I've been quite ill again, not been able to really record or even look at a computer screen too often, so I've gotten myself a little behind schedule. But I am back and now ready to tackle the greatest swordsman to have ever lived. So let's not drag this out any longer and get on to Kenshi.
Are you sure about that?
No. Yes, that's right. The Doctor of Thugonomics has made his return to video game stardom. Yeah, they had to work around it by making him that douche from the Suicide Squad. But John Cena is in MK1, and with this guide we are taking that bag of dicks, filling our bellies in the name of peace, and show you why you should watch Peacemaker on HBO Max, now called Max, and give us all your monies. Is that alright, James? Did I do good, James? Now can I do some voice work for the DCU? God damn it, pick up your phone! But before we do that, don't forget to help the channel by giving us a like, comment, share, subscribe, sonic booming the bell thingy, and following us on all the social medias for all your techly needs. Now with that said, I am Tech and this is my guide to being the best Peacemaker player you can possibly be. Probably a brawler, not making John Cena a grappler, that's a paddling. Peacemaker utilizes third damage output to adjust the opponent's attitude. No unique mechanics involved here, just ruthless aggression. However, since I like to start with something, let's just bring in Eagly. That's right, Peacemaker's trusted pet acts as both projectile and utility. First, by inputting down away 4, Eagly becomes a beautiful bird bullet, popping the opponent up for potential combos on hits. On block, it has varying levels of block safety. The further you are, the safer you are, while also having a slight escape feature. Down forward 4, grounder offense, will have Peacemaker roll in with Eagly, popping the opponent up towards you for potentially easier combos in the right circumstances. This has the high to guaranteed chance of switching sides, so you will have to account for that. And while it's still the further you are, the safer you are always negative, and the roll brings you closer to the opponent, making things worse. And lastly, Eagly's utility is that of assist removal. By pressing down and the stance change button while a cameo is out, Eagly will begin ripping and tearing at said cameo, removing them from play. Now the opponent just has to hit you to free them up, but that's only on hits. If you're blocking or are on the offensive, the cameo remains incapacitated, meaning no fatals, no assists, and no breakers until they are freed or Eagly loses interest. Sounds pretty strong, right? Well, it would be if there wasn't a cooldown on the chicken. You see, if you use any of these specials, Eagly will be unavailable for a few seconds. This means any offense or defensive plays involving him will just not happen. But in the projectile's case, you will still do the animation, just no bird to the rescue, so you become a sitting duck. For key normals, we start with his 1-2-4 string, Doorbuster, a high to mid string that is super safe on block, with the initial 1-2 being both special, cancelable, and advantageous on block. Now on hit, that 4 is going to deliver a hard knockdown that will allow you to dash in and potentially get an attack off or bait a wake up. The speed of the string also can make it an okay ender. In fact, it's very reminiscent to MK11 Sub-Zero's string of the same inputs. Still, its main use is that block stagger. They block the 1 or the 1-2, and you have enough advantage to pop a throw and hopefully net some free damage. Next up is Total Commitment Kick off the forward 1-1-4. Another high to mid string where the initial one has some gap closing. Both ones are special cancelable and safe on block, while the final hit is not special cancelable, but safe on block with a flawless gap that will make it death. But that doesn't really matter as the entire string is armorable throughout, so outside of combo ending and maybe a whiff punish, it's best we move on. These moves can't always be winners, can they? His 2/2 string, Bee Stinger, is special cancelable throughout and safe on block throughout, but it also branches into 2 strings. First, to get it out the way, the 4 follow-up, Committed Kick, is basically the end of Total Commitment Kick. Same frames, same flawless gap, you get the idea. No, it is the throw follow-up, Head-On Approach, that is our true move of interest. You see, it is a true throw, meaning it can't be blocked. It also will withstand the opponent if they're in a juggle state, and is special cancelable to certain moves. This includes all enhanced specials, all summon assists, Eagle's Bird Bullet, and your Fatal Blow, which is basically now guaranteed. Sounds a little bit overpowered, right? Well, there are a few things. One, it's kinda on the slow side, so it has a limited amount of windows that you can use it during a juggle, all thanks to the juggle gravity. Also, your opponent can either armor out of it, or more dangerously, jump or even micro duck and punish you. This isn't foolproof as you do have moves that can try and quash either of the last 2 options. This comes in the form of Committed Kick, and with cameos or specials, we can make this a pseudo 50-50. More on that later. Still, this is a powerful opener, extender, and if needed, a restanding reset, even if we do have 2 micro duck opportunities. His away 2/4 throw string, Putting the Hurt Down, is a mid to throw ender that is special cancelable and safe on block from the initial 2 hits, and will have PEACEMAKER choke slam the opponents. Seriously, NetherRealm? Like, the guy has 5 iconic moves, and you guys chose the one move he has never frickin' used. Sadly, the string in full is more or less a quick ender. The higher the gravity, the less chance of landing it, but the back 2 itself is a great anti-air option, setting up for whatever combo you need, and the 4 on a grounded opponent will count them as being airborne, so you can get certain cameos and specials to extend. His penultimate attack is his sweep, because look at the range on this thing. It doesn't matter that it's unsafe on block. You can just pop it safely from a distance and they are going to have no way to catch you out. And finally we have Flag Flyer, an all mid launcher off the forward 4-1-2 that is safe on the initial 2 hits, yet death on the final 1. However, don't you worry as they are all special cancelable, and despite the animation, there are no armorable gaps. So you can use this string in full, then pop your safest cancel, and we can go from there. Thank you for your patience, it's time for the Jump In Lightning round, and Jump In 1 is your go to air. Range is okay, it's special cancelable, and it leads to the 2/2 follow-up, Killer Cactus, your simple spiking keep away air string almost everybody in the roster has. The initial 2 is also special cancelable, not like it matters too much since, spoilers, this eagle is more of an ostrich. He has no air specials whatsoever, but air cancels into ground specials can be useful. His Jump In 2, however, is really useful, as it can be used for both air to air and air to ground, but it's the 1/2 follow-up, Put Down, that's key here. Not only is it special cancelable throughout, it will also bounce the opponent up for extension. This can be used in many a situation, and depending on the cameo, is key to some extra damage where we wouldn't get it before. Now on to the specials. First things first, our projectile, the back forward one's force multiplier, where Peacemaker will give the opponent the D Eagle. Yeah, I got nothing. Similar to ground air offense, it's still the further you are, the safer you are, but again, you are always negative. No stupid floppy floundering though, but a zoner Peacemaker defo is not. Now when enhanced, Fruity Pebbles will discharge 3 rounds, the last one causing a slow crumple effect that can allow for follow-ups, and if they were airborne, will ground them for the same crumple. Sounds great on paper, however, as my air quotes may have led to, this is not a restand. They are still in a juggle state and are affected by the same level of gravity that they already had, and the animation makes getting a follow-up a little tricky. At close distances you can pull every eagly projectile off, and we have other specials that can work depending on the distance you are at. This means in the corner this move can be a real powerhouse, alongside his next special, Silent and Deadly, off the down back one, an anti-air projectile that has the Doctor of Peaceonomics unleash his blow dart skills. Now by holding the one down, you will be allowed to delay the shot and move back and forth as you see fit. Plus you can cancel this by pressing the block button at any time. This doesn't mean too much, as yes, you can make moves like Flag Flyer a little bit safer on block, but it would still be death, and unlike other cancel moves, the dart doesn't hit grounded opponents, so you don't even have the projectile's protection in the back of the opponent's mind. You cancel this, it's just giving the opponent their turn. However, it's great for juggles. The dart does get some air on it, so you can use this in the corner as a legit extender multiple times. Next up we have Activate Human Torpedo off the away forward 2, where Peaceful Chris flies into the opponent Gohan Raditz style. Death on block, but that's because it's your armor move, MK's equivalent to invincibility. It also has a fast startup and will travel from full screen. Really, this is more or less your ender, not exactly by choice, but the way Peacemaker's combos apply gravity, there isn't much else when it comes to options here. Anti-gravity off the down away 2 is an interesting yet slow teleport that has Super Cena float up to the heavens before crashing down on the opponent. Surprisingly, it's super safe on block, but don't get cocky kid, as it's death on up block with a big slow opening. But you can also choose to place Cena either side by holding the forward or away buttons respectively, or if you want to go for some jump in pressure, hold up. Peacemaker will forego the body splash and allow you to do any of said jump in attacks. When enhanced, Peacemaker will propel himself backwards, granting space, but if you want you can go for all the non-enhanced options by first holding down up during your enhanced leap. Then you can hold or don't hold any of the previous mentioned options. Seriously, this can be useful in some ways of mind games. If the opponent is trigger happy on that up block, you have a chance to throw punish with the up cancel. And then there's the from out of nowhere aspect of the enhanced version. Sure, might just be crackpot theories in the long run, but the aspect is there. His penultimate special is the forward down away 3's force field, which does exactly what it says on the tin and creates a force field around Peacemaker that will eat up projectiles. Any projectiles. When enhanced, the force field will flash yellow, sending out a pulse that will push the opponent back, creating space, but it's when that pulse connects with a projectile is where things become hot wing spicy. You see, that pulse will reflect the projectile back at its caster. Well, not every projectile. Certain ones like Scorpion Spear will just disintegrate on impact, but yeah, still good. But this move as a whole changes things up. In fact, before Eagerly, I had this penned in for the unique mechanic, as I feel it's a strong part to the anti-zone aspect of Peacemaker. When this is up, they can't do anything at range. It's like having the perfect mix of Jade's Seizure Procedure Shadow and Nightwolf's Reflect in one, allowing him to get in and apply pressure. Now lastly, we have Sonic Boom off the Away Forward 3, a shockwave blast that launches the opponent into the air for potential combos. When enhanced, the Sonic Boom will become jump cancelable, allowing for some shenanigans. You see, with jump cancel moves, you can cancel into specials and summon assists so long as you time the input along with a jump. Not the best example here, but we can use the dart. Normally you'll have to wait till the force field is all but gone to use this, in which case it will just whiff. But with the jump cancel, you can use it almost as soon as the boom fades away. This, while paired with certain cameos, adds more to Peacemaker's routes and is worth the bar, even if both are death on block. But that's kind of what I love about Peacemaker, as overall, Peacemaker is just so much fun to play. The design, the moves, the amazing voice work by Cena himself all give this character an easy pickup, and his damage isn't too bad when you get the ball rolling, especially if he's in the corner. He is actually one of the most dangerous characters in the corner I've met so far. However, getting the ball rolling can be his biggest issue, as he has a lot of trouble opening the opponents up. In fact, when it comes to opening the opponents up, he is more babyface Cena than eating Chris Smith. He has little to no mix-up game, no overheads, no lows. The only mix-up is that throw from head-on approach. They have to micro-duck or jump to escape, which you have specials that can sort of deal with that, but they all have risks. So for cameos, we are going to look at maximizing that pseudo 50-50 and give ourselves more ways to open the opponent up. So, first things first, we start with Sonya and now Shujinko, because they're tied to the tutorial challenges. Sonya's neutral is a great anti-air and juggle tool that allows you to pull off more combo routes and can help you get the head-ons throw when you wouldn't have been able to do before. Then her away assist, while switching sides being less ideal, is a combo starter that will catch the opponent if they try to jump or micro-duck in the prediction of head-on approach's throw. Not the best at the job, as you can be poked out of it, but that's not something that's going to pop up all too often, since you have the threat of head-on's throw being the risk for attempting that. Still, yeah, it's less than ideal. But hell, even her forward assist, the rings, has uses, as you can charge it from the throw and add some pressure, or as the tutorial shows, time a teleport cancel with it for some occasional, probably never used, shenanigans. Shujinko, like I said, also gets a mention, kinda in part thanks to the tutorial, but also because while he may be very character situational, he works so well with Peacemaker's kit. Now Shujinko has to use his neutral assist to charge up his cameo meter, which he can then spend on a level 1 or level 2 assist off the down forward or down back assists respectively. These will be in the form of one of the opponent's specific specials, the level 1 usually being some kind of projectile or simple ender, while the level 2, the one that costs the whole cameo meter, can be either a launcher for extensions or some gimmicky setup move like Smoke's invisibility or even spoilers for the next guide, Kenshi's Ancestor. But it's his forward and back assists that synergizes with our game plan. Both are fast enough to be used in our pseudo 50-50, and they also, if Shujinko has no meter, will place him into that meditation to charge, and if you do have meter, then he can link either of them into his mimic assists, adding for more variety. The only downside to Shujinko outside of his character by character basis is everything is summon based, which isn't really an issue on its own, but for certain launchers they don't offer much wiggle room because your fighter is locked out of moving thanks to Shujinko's animations. Looking at you, Ashra, but there are loads of cameos that can offer that 50-50 mix-up in some way or another. Jax can use his backbreaker off eagerly to get a combo. Serena just uses her discs because f*** you. But what we need is more openings, more variety. Scorpion can be a strong suit for this, as his forward assist offers our little mix-up, but his neutrals can also pop the opponent up after an enhanced force multiplier. Same with Motaro's teleports. Sector offers a huge boost to our game. The back assist teleport is a strong neutral offering, while also allowing for a less viable mix-up, more on that later. His neutral assist, the rocket, can be used to extend and restand off of head-on approach, allowing for big damage, and even better, the forward assist can restand off enhanced force multiplier. His big weakness, as I'm now addressing, is that lack of guaranteed mix-up. Yeah, like Sonya, for some reason you can be crouch punched out of it. This doesn't class as Sector being hit, it doesn't lock him out of being an assist. Instead, he just drops to the floor like you would if your animation was interrupted. Now, if that teleport worked as the mix-up, he'd be ruthless. But Tech, I hear the Shangbangers screaming from the rafters. What about Cyrax and Goro? And do I have a treat for you. First, Cyrax once again has the power of his back assist, the net, and forward assist, the bomb, utilized. You see, coming through the forward 4-1 string will cancel into the net, allowing Peacemaker to push his way to the corner where he is at his most dangerous, all while draining the opponent's meter, preventing any potential breaks. Then his enhanced force multiplier offers enough time for Cyrax to set up the bomb to apply pressure. And we haven't got to the things we haven't seen with these characters yet. Thanks to Cyrax's neutral copter, we can get more damage off Peacemaker's regular throw. Timing is a little tricky and something you are going to have to work on, but you can net good damage off something that should be one and done. The one niggling problem is we have no mix-up option, which means while Cyrax is really good with Peacemaker, he's not the ultimate fit and is more a strong option for a Shang utilizing morphs. Speaking of morphs, the Peacemaker Morphocopter combo is pretty simple. Just Sonic Boom as they reach the copter's peak, Eagly the moment you can, then finish with Torpedo. Good damage, job done. Now Goro, as we know, he offers Shang users watching more morph combo options, with decent results as you can see here with Peacemaker. But for similar combos with the rest of the roster prior to this guy, just come back here and click the top right when the video's over. But for Peacemaker himself, Goro offers multiple mix-up and safety options. First, with the right timing, you can make moves like Sonic Boom and Forward Eagly safe on block, and this even makes away eagerly plus. Then there's the factor of using either low eagerly and his back assist as your mix-ups. You see, the back assist only works on crouching opponents. 9 times out of 10 the opponent is going to try and micro-duck your head-on approach, so it's a match made in heaven. The only issue other than the side switch is that they can both be jumped out of, but not eagerly. The low bird is too fast. Only normally the opponent needs to be airborne slightly to get enough height to allow you to follow up. But with Goro you can use his close and medium neutrals just before they switch sides to pop the opponent up, allowing you to dash under and continue the combo from the same side. Then we can just bring Punch Walk in, as finally you can use it as an ender thanks to head-on's throw cancel. No, even at the cost of some health, Goro is a top contender. People will still advocate Striker, but honestly, since both cooldowns for their strongest aspects are now near identical, it's Goro all the way, baby. The only downside where our top cameo comes ahead is that he can't offer the throw route. So what we need is a cameo that does it all. And surprisingly, we have just that. Chameleon. Yes, the best cameo in terms of versatility and fun happens to be Peacemaker's best cameo in my opinion. Not only does each version of her neutral assist act as a mix-up tool with head-on approach, each disguise offers something to cover our needs. Jade Chameleon offers some Serena level of grounded combo extension and neutral aspects with her neutral assist. But the Seizure Procedure Shadow of her forward assist, while I'm not personally one to use because of the whole epilepsy thing, does negate projectiles like the Force Field would. It doesn't work with the Force Field, they both sort of cancel each other out, but it's something that can be utilised. Melina Chameleon's neutral assist is an overhead to mid that launches, so naturally it's the best option for the mix-up when it's available. While her forward assist, the size, is like a better version of Sonya's neutral, allowing for some needed lift in the corners. Speaking of lift, Katana Chameleon's neutral offers another lifting launcher up close and a strong projectile at range. Her forward assist, the Fan Lift, allows you to cancel out of moves into the air at different ranges, close, normal and far, tied to away, neutral and forward respectively. This offers for new grounded combo routes and mix-ups, while also pushing you into safety if they happen to block an unsafe move. But its big boon is to offer us our throw opener. So as you launch the opponent into the air, you use Fan Lift to lift Peacemaker airborne for put down. After that, it's how do you want to finish. I see head-on into the next Chameleon option as a good go-to. If you're still with Katana, you can time another Fan Lift with the headbutt and go for a jump in to whatever you want to finish with. But if you happen to clock over to Melina, a simple roll out into Killer Cactus will see you good. And by that vacant expression I see on some of your faces, I feel like I've lost you here. Yes, so to roll back, you see Chameleon has the gimmick of 3 different characters at the price of cycling through them every 5 or 6 seconds. Seems like it's a little difficult to keep track on, but always remember it cycles in a linear manner. If we start as Katana, we will always cycle to Melina, who will always cycle to Jade, and so on and so forth. However, the ninja disguise you start the match with will always be random, but if you remember the cycling rule, it doesn't matter. Now you can force the change if you feel you need it. The away assist will have the regular Chameleon grant you Broken Mirror, halving the damage of the next attack you take, hit or block. This will also switch to the next disguise. She will also switch if you hold the cameo button down after any of the female ninja's other assists. So it's not uncommon to see a rollout mix-up switch to Jade for the restand and nearly have enough bar to be ready for a katana fan lift off a throw all in one sitting. And that's just Peacemaker. Chameleon can offer Shang users some goods too. Both the Melina forward assist and the Jade neutral assist can offer Shang morph combos. Melina in a similar way to Goro, as in it's the exact same setup, while Jade has more of a grounded approach, timing the morph and being ready just before the final glaive comes back. Hell, even Katana has some cool stuff with her fan lift, allowing for big damaging combos and even a combo route off Shang's throw, which is one of the harder throws to get. Seriously, when used right, Chameleon will probably be everyone's go-to cameo. Now, for some final tips I leave is to first pay attention to the micro duck. I know it's been the thing we've sort of talked about through the entire video, but as the ranks go higher, the knowledge to micro duck the head-on's throw is more common. Hell, even right now, newbies have gotten the knack for it. So nearly everyone is going to try and micro duck. Use that to your advantage. The moment you notice the first micro duck, you will have a simpler time to just go for assists or eagerly. Then by the time they realize the error of their ways, you can go for the normal head-ons. This isn't always the way, as sometimes you just can't condition someone who doesn't understand that they're supposed to be conditioned. Second, you do have some range options, and you can use them. Yeah, Super Cena ain't a zoner, but you have enough in your kit to play some keep away with your force field, eagerly, and your deagle. And lastly, if the opponent blocks all your flag flyer string, just cancel into bird bullet. Worst case scenario, they armor through the bird, which yeah, for some character cameo pairings, it's a guaranteed combo. But for most of the time, it's a simple trade. They expend their meter and some health to take their turn. But no matter what, it was technically their turn anyway, and the outcome of any other option would have been nearly double the damage you've just taken. And if they don't armor, well, you're safe and free to dash back if they try to close the gap. And hell, even then, if you've got the right cameo, you can break the armor. So keep these in mind and you'll show that your opponent's time is up and your time is now. And if you want our time to be now, don't forget to help the channel by giving us a like, comment, share, subscribe, sonic boom the bell thingy, and follow me on all your social medias. Also, this is a community, so if you have any tips and tricks you found yourself, or just want to tell me who your favorite character is or who you want to see next, let us know in the comment section below. And finally, tune in next time where we will look at the great swordsman Kenshi. But until that day, this has been Techno Odin. Stay safe, claim skulls, smash bosses, and remember, it's in our blood.